Good evening. Here is top news newsletter, starting with the headlines. Large numbers of terrorists killed in Syrian army operations. Nasrallah response to Zionist raids take place anytime. The so-called ISIS kidnaps 172 citizens in Fallujah. In Idlib, army units continued concentrated hits against dens of the terrorist organizations of Jabhat al-Nusra, Ahrar al-Sham Islamic movement, among other of the countryside. An army unit killed 24 terrorists, including foreigners, in the north of Idlib city. 4 of the terrorist vehicles equipped with heavy machine guns were destroyed, and 9 terrorists were killed in Ariha area, Jabal al-Zawiya, Ain al-Barde, and al-Muzra in Idlib countryside, killing several terrorists and injuring many others. In southern Syria, especially in the province of Daraa, the army inflicted heavy losses upon the terrorists after targeting their dens in Zimrin town and in Al-Sanamen city in the northern countryside of Daraa. More members of the terrorist organization were reported killed and others wounded as the army units directly hit their gatherings and positions in the surrounding of the Saad road in Dar al-Balad in the city of Daraa. Army units continued their operations against terrorist organizations in Homs, killing a large number of their members and raising their hideouts in Tel Bisa and Rahum village in the countryside of the central province, and killed 15 terrorists in Tel Bisa city, among them a sniper kidnapped and a leader of one of the armed terrorist groups. A number of terrorists were also killed, while many others were injured in Rajm al-Qasr in the east of Homs. Concerning the Israeli recurrent air raids against targets in Syria, Sayyid Nasrallah said that all the axis of resistance is concerned with responding to the attacks, stressing that the response may take place at any time. Hezbollah Secretary General Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah asserted that the Islamic resistance is ready to invade Galilee and the Israeli settlements which lay beyond Galilee during any upcoming war against the Zionist entity. Sayyid Nasrallah pointed out that the resistance will not resort only to the missiles to defend Lebanon, so it prepared its fighters to be able to storm Galilee in case their leaderships ordered them. Sayyid Nasrallah said that despite Hezbollah's current preoccupations, it has accumulated and sustained its military power, adding that the Israeli enemy has acknowledged that the party is gaining huge military experience from various battlefields. In commenting on the Syrian-Iraqi scenes, Hezbollah Secretary General pointed out that the militant groups are unable to defeat the regular army, adding that dethroning President Bashar al-Assad can no longer be achieved. The so-called ISIS terrorists kidnapped 172 citizens in Fallujah city due to accusing them for forming Sahwa forces that support the security forces. US-led forces launched 11 airstrikes, each in Syria and Iraq since Wednesday, targeting ISIS terrorists, equipment and building, the US military said. 5 of the strikes in Syria were in the contested city of Kobani, near the Turkish border, where they destroyed 4 fighter positions, buildings and a tactical unit, the Combined Joint Task Forces said in the statement. US and the partner nations launched strikes near 7 Iraqi cities including Mosul, Baiji, Al-Qayyim, destroying a shipping container, tactical units, buildings, boats, and land vehicles, as it said. But Iraqi officials are voicing displeasure with the efforts of the Obama administration and its coalition allies to help stem the tide of the so-called ISIS group. U.S. Marine Gen. John Allen was told in a closed-door meeting with the Parliament Speaker Sam al-Jabouri that the level of support Iraqi security forces are receiving is insufficient to the task at hand. Gen. Allen was in Baghdad to meet with numerous officials from Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi's government. Returning to the Syrian view, President's Special Representative Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdanov discussed with the head of the delegation of the European Union to Russia, Yuscos Vaigadis means to solve the crisis in Syria. Russian Foreign Minister said in a statement that issues of the Middle East and settling the crisis in Syria were the core of talks between Bogdanov and Yuscos. It added that both sides exchanged viewpoints on the current issues in the Middle East, with concentrating on the political settlement in Syria and the Russian initiative to hold consulting contacts among the Syrians at the end of the current month, paving the way for a comprehensive dialogue between the Syrian government and opposition, according to Geneva Conference of 2012. Talking about the West, German police officers raided suspected Islamist cells in and around Berlin early Friday. An alleged leader of a group planning to carry out an attack in Syria was arrested. The man, 41, is suspected of leading an Islamist extremist group made up of Turkish and Russian nations from Chechnya and Dagestan, as the police said. There is no indication that the group was preparing attacks inside Germany. Globally, police in China have arrested 60 people for drug-related crime and seized 11 metric tons of narcotics in vast sweep. Authorities handled 52 drug crime cases from late September to December during a campaign dubbed Ban Drugs in hundreds of cities. The campaign will last until April, and the number of drug users had been punished by the middle of December. That's all for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Inas Ahmed. Good night.